Hello, I'm Alexander Santana, the narrator. I hope I'm not speaking too loud. And if I am, you guys can always leave a comment down below. Why not? I'm also going to try not to use any bad language. I have a very, very potty mouth, and I will try my hardest to not use any profanity while playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've played this game before, but I've never finished it, and I figure it's time to make this game just a little bit more accessible to the rest. So, without further ado, actually, we're gonna have to make a new account because we're playing this thing brand new, baby. Alright, so we're gonna have to select an icon. They show us multiple different icons. There's a Mario, Bowser, Link from different generations. And we're just making an account so we can play a brand new game. So I'm just gonna select Link from the Wind Waker, the classic version of, well, not the classic version, but the older version. The newer version, he looks a little bit more realistic. We're gonna name, enter a nickname for this user. It's gonna be named Yes with three S's, and hit next. This user will be added to console. Yes. Okay. And you can now link a Nintendo account. We will link an account later. And I'm gonna select yes. And so it begins. This is periodic. As soon as you begin the game, a Nintendo loading switch appears. Nintendo in the top left and the Nintendo Switch brand on the bottom right. If I describe things incorrectly, I'm gonna apologize now. I'm gonna attempt to describe things in as clear and as quick a way as possible. The Legend of Zelda appears in a black screen. Breath of the Wild. Open your eyes. A white light appears from what was once a yellow slit. Two blue lights appear.
Open your eyes.
Three. Looks like a glowing pendant.
Wake up, Link.
We now see Link laying down in a blue pool of water. The water seems to be receding as he lays down. We can now see the bed he was laying in, a recess in the ground, ornately decorated with blue and yellow. It has an ancient appearance, but very modern as well. It seems like blue LED lights are above and inside this ancient appearing object. Link leaves his bed dripping with water. He sees a pedestal with a semicircle that is glowing. It now appears that I'm able to move, and the game is saving my location. To move, I'm going to be using the L joystick. It says that the controls are if I hit the plus button, and camera will be controlled by the right joystick. I'm gonna walk forward towards the right, towards the pedestal that I witnessed, and I'm going to examine by hitting the A button. The pedestal begins to glow, and an object appears out from the top.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
A rectangular object has appeared from the pedestal. It looks like a tablet, for lack of a better descriptive. Link picks it up, examines it. It turns on. Sheikah slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. It is now in our inventory. Every time you hear that previous noise, it means I just discovered something new. The door to the ancient temple seems to be opening, and I walk through it. The air in this dungeon seems to be very still. The new room I have entered has several crates and what appear to be chests. I will open up one of the two chests I can see. Well-worn trousers was in the first chest. These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit short though. They do look like high waters, with a belt through them, and they come with provided shoes and socks. To open our inventory, equipped weapons, armor, and other gear, here, we have to hit the plus button. That's on our Joy-Con. And I can see the pants the well-worn trousers we just found. And whenever we open up our inventory button by hitting the plus button on our Joy-Con, we see the inventory on the left side, and on the right side we see Link's body. Currently he is bare, wearing nothing but some underwear that are just above his knee, blue of color, the tablet on his left hip, and it looks like 2 belts. Link has blue eyes, yellow, sandy, shoulder-length hair, very pointy ears, and he's just a normal, very attractive fellow for a cartoon character. As I can move my inventory by moving the right Joy-Con, or the joystick, and it seems I have 2 tabs, key items, and armor. Let's open up the next treasure box as we leave the inventory. It looks like we found an old shirt, a thin shirt made long ago. It's coming apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. So now I go into the inventory and I equip Link with the shirt and the well-worn trousers, that gives Link the appearance of a traveling vagrant, which I approve of because it's the beginning of the game, and what else should he look like? As we reach the end of the room, which is more of a hallway corridor, we come to a different pedestal, and as I get close to it, it asks me to examine it. I click examine.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
He holds the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. It glows blue. Authenticating. It says, Sheikah slate confirmed. A gargantuan door seems to be unlocking itself, revealing what I believe is the sun. Link tries to look through the door at the bright light, but has to squint.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
guess she's talking to me. The incredibly bright light that once came and irradiated from the end of the hallway has now dissipated, and I can make out what seems to be a pine tree. I have to. It's not really a tunnel, it's more of a staircase. And I'm walking up the first staircase, down the hallway, and I just landed into a puddle. And turns out, one of the options that just came up on the screen is jump. Link can now jump on demand. If I hit the X button, I'm jumping in the water right now. Alright, there's a big wall boulder in our way on the way to the exit. And I'm gonna push the up button on the left Joy-Con and climb by hitting the X button as well. And he seems to be climbing. As he begins to climb the rock, there is a energy meter on his upper left side. It is a green circle. The green circle seems to run clockwise until it is empty. Once it's empty, I suspect he will fall. Now we're running, we've almost reached the end of the entrance, and now we're at the entrance, and Link has taken control. We are revealed with an enormous landscape of Hyrule. Mountains in the distance, trees up close, but we are on top of, it looks like a bluff or something. We can see a volcano in the furthest reaches of the kingdom. We can see Hyrule Castle. We can see absolutely everything, and it looks so enormous. We can see a gentleman probably 300 meters away that turned away from us, and I suspect we have to go talk to him first. The screen appears. Great plateau in the bottom left corner. Link is standing on top of where he just came out of. We are on top of a hill, and I am going to descend. There seems to be a stick with 3 question marks on top, on the ground. I'm going to take it by hitting the A button. It seems we found a tree branch. Wooden branches such as this are pretty common, but it's surprisingly well balanced. It doesn't do much damage, but can serve as a weapon in a pinch. It says that my weapon strength went from 0, because I did not have a weapon, to 2. Use your weapon. Attack with your weapon using the Y button. And that's what it sounds like. He swings his weapon. There seems to be mushrooms. Hylian shroom, a common mushroom found near trees around Hyrule. Eat it to restore half a heart. And I picked that bad boy up. And there seems to be 2 more mushrooms up on this little 5-foot cliff I gotta climb. And I got 2 more Hylian shrooms. I'm gonna climb down by hitting the A button as I approach the ledge, and he swings right over the ledge and begins descending. He walks down the side of a mountain just like a rock climber. We're just gonna keep descending the path. It's really like we're on the side of a mountain, and this path was carved in on the side, and it's overgrown with grass, and you can still see the path, but it's just not really there anymore. It just looked like it was once a well-maintained path. No more. Fences are all shackled, but nature has reclaimed 95% of it. As we approach the man who turned his back away from us, he is now sitting in front of a fire. In front of him is what appears to be question marks. And as I approach an item, and I don't know what that item is, it will appear with 3 question marks above it.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Check Sheikah slate. Access your Sheikah slate. If I hit the negative button, or the minus button, subtract button, I don't know, on my Joy-Con, it'll take me to my map. And the spirit said, I forget her name. If someone can remember her name, please leave a comment. She said I have to follow the Sheikah Slate to where the location is on my map. And that's good to know. So I was just in the map, and what it shows me is a blue grid-like pattern with a yellow dot on it seems like I'm inside a circle. And on the top right of the circle is where I have to go. I seem to have just accepted a quest. And I'm still standing in front of the mystery object with 3 question marks above it. I'm going to take it. It was a baked apple. Direct heat has softened and sweetened this apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please, said the old man, who was sitting across the fire. Oh ho, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It is a bit strange to see another soul in these parts. And it seems to give me the option, the game, to reply with, who are you? And bye. I'm gonna ask him, who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here alone for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? The old man seems to be holding a lantern on the end of his walking stick. He has a dark hood with a red fringe and red t-shirt. He wears very tough appearing hand wraps, and he has an incredibly thick and, I don't know how to describe it, bubbly beard. It's white and it looks like a Zeus beard, very thick. So he asked, what brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? Where are we? Answering a question with a question? That is fair enough, said the old man. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. The old man stands up and points down the mountain at a church. That temple there, long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies, said the old man. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. The old man turns back around. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self, the old man said as he places his right hand on the top of his walking stick. The old man sits back down, and I have the ability to talk to him or disengage. I will talk to him some more. Oh ho, what are you doing? I ask him. I'm relaxing by the fireside, of course, although I'll need to cook myself another baked apple at some point. Simple foods such as apples are fine to eat raw, but roasting them on a fire makes them tastier and more nutritious. Do you have somewhere else to be, young one? I guess he's trying to point me in the right direction. As I continue to walk down the mountain, I see what appears to be a massive axe in a stump. I take it. Woodcutter's axe. A woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing make it a slow and inefficient weapon. it will increase my attack power from 2 to a 3. To change weapons, you can switch weapons quickly. Press and hold the right, I forget the name of this, the right analog, no, they have the right manual button to the right. The one, you can go to the right, you can go up, to the left, you can go down. We're gonna hit the right button and then you switch using the right Joy-Con. If anyone has the name for that, oh, the D-pad. Hit the right button on the D-pad and switch using the right Joy-Con. And that was easy. Just by holding down the right D-pad button, it brings up a list of weapons that you own. I own the tree branch and the woodcutter axe. It holds this, it pauses the game and it brings up a very small menu right above my head. And now I have a massive axe across my back. It seems to be damaged in certain places, but it is truly a big axe. The tree right behind me seems to have apples. I'm gonna try to cut the tree down and collect the apples. I hit the D button. Zelda pulls out his axe and holds it with both hands. With one swipe of this axe, 2 apples have fallen from the tree. Apple, a common fruit found in trees all around Hyrule. Eat it fresh or cook it to increase its effect. Apple. I'm gonna try to cut the tree down some more. My first cut left a deep gash. And now the tree has fallen. Another apple. As I walk down the path, I have come to a pretty weird little location. It looks like this is a little lake to the left of the church. Alright, so the Sheikah Slate said go to the top right of where we're at, and that's where I'm going. I'm crossing a basic little landscape. I seem to have found my first monster and they're approaching me. He's attacking me with a stick. So I'm jumping around. I have locked onto him by holding R2. He's hit me one time. He's hit me twice. He appears to look like a pig. A red pig. A red, two-legged pig with hands that resemble a human. And a horn protruding out of the top of his head. He has a necklace with a skull on it and has wraps around his forearms. He wears a loincloth and has bright blue glowing eyes. I pull out my axe and hit him twice. His health is now down to 50%. I hit him 2 more times. His health is down 10%. I jump from the top of a cliff and I swing my axe down on top of his head, killing him. He seems to have left behind some kind of cone. Bokoblin Horn. The severed horn of a bokoblin, a creature often encountered on the plains of Hyrule. It isn't edible, but it can be tossed into a stew with some critters to make an excellent elixir. I guess that's what you get once you destroy a bokoblin. On our way up back to the path, I stumbled across a pile of wood and some question marks. Flint. Strike it with a metallic weapon to generate a spark. This portable fire starter breaks after one use, but it can create a long-lasting flame if you use it near firewood. So that gives me an idea. I now have flint in my inventory, and I will open my inventory and select the flint item. I will hold the item, and I will select the plus button again to exit the inventory. This now gives me a circle out in the main world, and that circle has an arrow right in the middle of it, and it'll show me where I'm gonna drop the flint. And remember, I said the flint, I found it right next to a little pile of wood. So I'm gonna put the flint right on top of that little pile of wood. And I have this steel axe. I'm pretty sure it's a steel axe. And if we all know one thing, if you have steel and flint, and if you strike those two together, you're gonna get a lot of sparks. So I'm gonna do that right now. And just as I suspected, I striked the flint with my steel axe, and sparks ignited the wood, the dry wood. So that's pretty cool. I now made a fire. No real reason to do that. Alright, I'm making my way back up to the path. And I'm gonna go back to the main mission. We got a little sidetracked there. Oh, some more mushrooms. So I picked them up. Every time you hear that noise, it means I picked them up. I see another bokoblin. Oh, but it seems a blue circle monster with yellow and red eyes has appeared out of nowhere and is attempting to attack me. He seems to just hop at you, and I'm gonna whack him. He left choo-choo jelly, a gelatinous substance that came from a choo-choo. It's unusable in this state, but applying a bit of elemental stimulation will change its form. I bet you if I put it in a fire, something will happen. We seem to find another. I have depressed the right analog stick, and it seems to bring up a scope on the Sheikah slate, like a telescope. And what I'm observing right now is that animal that looked like a pig that I was fighting earlier, a bokoblin. He seems to be kind of in my way, but not really. I guess I'll go take him on. Can't hurt after all. We seem to be inside really close to this ancient church that the old man was referring to. This bokoblin had a wooden club. He left a bokoblin horn and a club. Boko club, a crude bokoblin club made to clobber small prey. It is essentially a stick, so its durability is low. But it does increase the strength of my attack from 3 to 4 if I equipped it. But I really like this axe. I'll try to describe the fights as they're happening. Sometimes I'll describe the fights after they're happening, but sometimes these fights they'll happen so quick. I'll just say I'll hit them once, I'll hit them twice with my weapon, or if they'll hit me, I'll tell you that. But sometimes these days happen so fast that I don't want to interrupt the sound that they give. So I don't know. If anyone has any ideas for when I should describe the fights, altercations as they're happening, let me know. I see two massive boulders on the side of this cliff, and for some reason I am very tempted to roll them down. At the bottom of the hill where they would have fell, there are actually two bokoblins. That makes me want to push him down even more, so I will. He pushes the one boulder, and it's making a beeline. And it made a beeline for that bokoblin. And then the other boulder's pushed, and it missed the other bokoblin. I jump, and I almost injure myself. I strike him with the axe, strike him again with the axe. He picked up his vocal club, but I didn't give him a chance to strike me with it. And now he's dead. Bokoblin horn, bokoblin horn. Boko club, boko club. You can throw your weapon. You can throw the weapon in your hand. Aim using the right, using R1, or using just R, and then release the R to throw. Okay. Very good to know. Alright, so we're still making our way down to the spot on the map. Because on the bottom right, oh that's right, let me describe the screen I'm seeing here, just the general UI. So Link is in the middle, obviously. This is a third-person game. The top left is Link's health. We have 3 hearts on the top left, and actually it looks like I've taken some damage within the last couple of fights because I'm down to 50%. I'm down to 1 heart and a half of a heart out of 3 hearts. Right below that, we have the D-pad icons. To the right, if I hold down the right button, it gives me the little menu right above my head, showing me which weapons I can select for my inventory. If I hold down the bottom button, it lets me whistle, I guess. The top button does nothing, and the left D-pad button does nothing. On the bottom right of the screen is a little mini map that designates north and where I have to go. It's really just a grid pattern with a yellow marker on the perimeter showing me that it's that way. To the left of that mini map is 2 other gauges. One is the temperature, with one side of it being blue and the other side of it being red. And the other one seems to be a noise meter or noise detector. I was standing still and it seems to be wiggling just ever so slightly. But as I walk, the noise becomes very audible and the purple line wiggles like crazy. So I'm pretty sure that's a sound detector device or something. Alright, but we're going to keep on heading to the objective on the mini-map. We're headed to the objective on the mini-map. Oh, we're close to it. Alright, we're actually right here. Alright, so we're seeing 1 bokoblin, 2, 3 bokoblins. And off in the distance is a cave that's shaped to look like a skull. Or a skull, a huge skull. That's a giant skull. And it's a cave. That's scary. Alright, so we're not going there. But we're going to go to there's 2 bokoblins on top of a bluff. And 1 bokoblin at the bottom of a valley. So we're going to go up against that guy. Because he seems to be standing right in front of where we need to be. Oh, he spotted us. And oh, he's got a shield. I focus on my opponent, and as I back away, he strikes twice, and I hit him right in the mouth with my Boko club. He seems to have dropped his shield, which will raise my shield from 0 to 3. A Bokoblin shield. Actually, it's called a Boko shield. A Bokoblin made shield created by attaching a handhold to any flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's pretty shoddy, so don't expect it to last very long. Raise your shield. Block when using a one-handed weapon. Using the Z, R, or ZL. Press and hold. Bokoblin Fang. That's a new item. A tooth obtained from a Bokoblin. It's worn down and not very sharp, but it's still pretty hard. Cook it alongside a cricker to make an elixir. I picked up a new weapon. It's called the Traveler's Sword. A very common sword often kept by travelers to fend off small beasts. It's fairly durable, but a bit unreliable against monsters. And some more Bokoblin horn. Cool. A huge cloud seems to have just covered us. I thought the sun was going down, but nah, there's actual weather here, guys. There is actual weather in Hyrule. And it's so crazy. Alright, so we're gonna approach our objective. We're right on top of this thing. It seems like it's an ancient architecture shrine thing built into the side of a structure, a rock structure. And I see a pedestal, but this one is orange. Very similar to the ones that were inside the cave where I woke up. And I'm gonna examine the pedestal. Place the Sheikah slate in the pedestal. Lincoln is examining the pedestal very closely. And he places his Sheikah slate right into it, and it causes a reaction. It spins around and flips over the tablet. Surprising Link. And now it says, Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. I can't stress enough how much that Sheikah slate appears like an Apple iPhone. Maybe it's got a handle on top of it, like a purse, or a little it's got a handle on top of it like a briefcase, but it looks just like an iPhone. An ancient iPhone. A blue teardrop appears on the ancient rock structure above the shrine we just activated. Chipmunks scurry away. Birds fly away from the source of the ruckus. Bokoblins are scared themselves. What rises out of the structure I was just standing on is a tower that is growing out of the ground. And now I can see in a far away locations, from ice cold mountaintops to volcano to plains and the deserts. These towers have risen all over the kingdom. They appear to be 100 feet tall, but honestly they can be 100 yards. I can't tell. Link stands up at the top of the Great Plateau Tower. He's looking around, distilling local information. The inverted stalactite from the top of the tower begins to glow blue, and a blue eye appears at the bottom. It drips a tear, and it lands right on the Sheikah slate that was on the pedestal. Regional map extracted. It seems that by activating this tower, it unlocks the map for the region. Remember when I said we were in a circle? Well, it turns out that it's more like a circle mixed with a square. No real sharp edges or anything. but we're on top of a plateau, and it says the regional map has just been extracted. I can see that most of the top portion of the map is trees. The lower portion seems to be mountainous, and everything else is plains. And there's a couple lakes scattered around the places. So I guess that's where we're at, the Great Plateau. So we are on a plateau. Remember,
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years.
Link is looking at a castle with a yellow beam of light irradiating from the middle.
When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end.
A red demon is circling the castle, growing. It appears to be an enormous cloud of red and black. It looks like a dragon with horns,
Now then,
with a cape. I don't even know how to describe it.
Hurry, Link,
Very dark. Around the castle,
before it's too late.
it looks like red and black flames are circling it clockwise, reaching the sky, but you can still see the castle. Main quest, follow the Sheikah Slate. Completed. Alright, yeah, we can see the castle, and it now has a couple demon spirits, I don't even know, swirling around it. I'm on top of this tower that it is so tall. I can see so many mountains, it's almost scary. I can see a volcano so far off in the distance. Oh my god, it's just so incredible. There is so much you can see. It is an open world map like I have never seen before. I can see so far. I can see things I don't even know what to do with yet. Like I can see towers just like mine, all over the place. There's one over there. There's another, 2, 3, 4. I can see 4, 5, 6. Just from where I'm at right here, I can see 6 other regional towers. That is crazy. This game is gonna be enormous. All right. So let me just describe these towers very quickly. They're brown. They seem to be made out of a sandstone-like object, but what do I really know about stones? Very intricately carved. They look very ancient. They look very, very ancient. And I guess when they're unlocked, they appear yellow. Yes, I'm looking through my telescope at all the other ones, all the other towers I'm seeing. They appear yellow when they're unlocked, and when they are locked, I think they get blue, because this one's got blue on it. That's very interesting. Some of the designs are very flowy, almost like curls of hair. All right, so let's get down from here. How are we gonna get down from here? Alright, so to get down from here, I'm gonna have to climb down. And now he's on the side of the tower, and he's climbing down. Link appears to be sweating as he climbs down. Good attention to detail. Alright, and now he's gonna... Oh, he just fell. No, he didn't fall too far. There seems to be a bunch of different landings, so he can just, like if he was a giant, he could take a walk from step down from each landing to the next landing, but he's not a giant, so he's just hopping down from one landing down to the other landing, which is about 10 feet away, or 10 feet down. Sounds like the old man has found us. He appears to be flying with a kite above his head. My, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower? I'm gonna select I heard a voice. Or should I select ellipses, ... I heard a voice. Well now, a voice you say? And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? I'm gonna select the first one always, which is no. I see. Well, this is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity surrounding the castle, he says as he points to the general direction of the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will be unleashed. A moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. The old man looks at Link. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I do. I had a feeling you would say that. Here, on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try and jump off, well, no death could be more certain or more foolish.
Oh.
Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. It shows us on top of a bluff, like a plateau, like a mesa, like a big mountain with a flat top. That's where we're at right now, and we can't get down. So he says we're gonna need a paraglider, and I'm gonna say, hand it over. Oh, certainly, why not? But there is no such thing as a free item in this world, you know. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? The Isolated Plateau Adventure. Open the adventure log by pressing the plus button. The Isolated Plateau. After you descend from the tower, the old man told you that the kingdom of Hyrule was destroyed 100 years ago by Calamity Ganon. You heard a voice coming from Hyrule Castle, but you cannot reach it unless you leave the plateau using the paraglider. The old man said that he will give you the paraglider in exchange for the treasure that lies within a hidden location somewhere. Come, let me show you something, the old man said as he stands looking down at me. I follow him to the top of a little hill 20 feet from where we were standing. I talked to him again. Do you see that structure there? The one shining with a strange light. The structure he's referring to is how can I describe it? It looks like a thimble or a shot glass or it looks like a wine glass, or it looks like a old school Coca-Cola bottle. I don't even know how to describe it. But it looks like those ice cream cones that aren't cones. They're like little cups. You know, not little tiny cups or anything, but like the little ice cream cones that are like cups, and you can eat them. You know, they like have the cut bottom. It's not a pointy bottom; it's a flat bottom. So they look like that, but they're yellow with little ornate, like curly hair, glowing on the side. But when I say glowing hair, I mean it looks like curls of artwork on the side of the shrine. And yeah, it's got a door, or not even a door, it's got a little landing for you on the front. like if there was gonna be a door, that would be the porch, and then you can just keep walking inside of it. It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. So it seems that now I have to go get some treasure from that cave so he can give me that paraglider. Old man, what have you done to me? Alright, we're gonna save this game. And we're off. Alright, guys. See you next time. Remember, if you guys want me to do anything in particular, just leave a like and a comment. Bye-bye.